that gets him where he thinks it's going to get him is entirely unknown to me. But
I mean, he seems to be doing quite well for himself, so.
yeah, like it's easy. It would be easy for me to be overly cynical and say some of the worst things ever created were created with the best intentions. Like that would be very easy for me to do, and that would not be very far off from the modus
Mm-hmm.
operandi of this show. I don't like I look, I don't want to say the show was created in bad faith. I'm not going to say that. But we created this show with a certain
A certain mindset, frame of mind. In that direction.
yeah, like I don't think that's unfair. I don't think that's an unfair point to make. Is that while we while we tend to look at things from a mostly reasonable perspective, it's not like the show started with us being on some like equal footed journalism here. We know exactly where we stand with the shit we cover. I know what my motivations are, all right? I know why. I know why I'm in this business.
Mm-hmm.
I know why I'm still in this business. Oh dear. I'm gonna be real, man.
Mm-hmm.
Be 100%
Mm-hmm.
real. Chrono Trigger was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
It was
imagine so.
it was fun. It was uh it was a good time. It was a good time. Although okay, so I learned something about myself. Um
Mm-hmm.
okay. So I don't think it would be a very big stretch if I told you that oftentimes I multitask during a video,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you probably that probably doesn't seem too far out the ordinary, right? Like I'm playing the game, I'm also looking at my other screen and looking at whatever else I have to do to fucking make sure I don't fuck up a boss fight or
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
something.
sure.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So we're at least on the same mindset there. I
Mm-hmm.
ran into this thing with one of the side quests where the side quest was like I found a site that puts the steps in a fairly good way, but I
Mm-hmm.
also found that text didn't work this well for this one because
Mm-hmm.
the way
Okay.
that the dungeon's laid out and the things you have to do, putting it in text is actually more tedious to read and
Uh-huh.
understand and also play the game.
So essentially, you read the text, you'd have to figure out at what point that is in the dungeon and then go
Yeah,
accordingly.
yeah,
Yeah, so essentially a image and text combination would have worked best.
which I found
Like
one.
you have
I
very good.
I
Hmm.
found one
Like a
specific.
map with numbers and then the text with the numbers on the right side or something like that.
Doesn't even need to be even that complicated.
Mm-hmm. All right.
This one was probably closer to just being a screenshot LP, basically
Mm-hmm.
circa 2006. And
Mm-hmm.
this
Okay.
pretty much fixed all my problems with trying to do this one fucking
Ah,
side quest.
okay.
And I realized I process information
Mm-hmm.
very differently depending on what the fuck I'm doing. Like all the other side quests I did, fairly
Mm-hmm.
easy.
Mm-hmm.
I could like double up, look at notes. If I make a mistake, oh well, fucking live and
Mm-hmm.
you learn.
Yeah,
Sonic
the
the
others
Hedge.
probably didn't need something this intricate though.
Yeah, the
I'm
other
guessing.
ones, like the other ones were just tedious and long. This one was actually
Mm-hmm.
pretty intricate to get through.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I
Yeah,
got
because
through
it
it.
seems like a halfway decently long dungeon where you have to do steps in a pretty specific
Yeah,
way.
yeah, you have to do things in a very
Uh-huh.
specific way in
A
order to.
specific order. Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I can see how that would be difficult to just have it in text.
Yeah, no, the text format was not. Text
Uh,
format was
yeah.
fucking me up. I could not
Mm-hmm.
process this dungeon in just sheer text format. I'm like, oh god, this is
Mm.
actually really difficult. I can't process this. Oh, okay. I'll do something else. I don't have the patience, the time, the mental capacity. Not doing this
Mm-hmm.
today. Nope. In other news, because I
Mm-hmm.
am bad at life and bad
Mm-hmm.
at being an adult and
Uh,
worse at existing, I had pre-ordered my copy of Atelier Ryza 3 and it came out like a little over a week later. They didn't get it
mm-hmm.
until like the following Wednesday. The problem is that I lost my wallet at some point.
Oh.
And so the game's already paid for. That's not the problem. Like I still had
Mm-hmm.
most of my cards. It was the wallet. The problem is Best Buy requires you have an ID in order to pick up
Ah.
what you
Mm-hmm.
pre-ordered.
Uh-huh.
And
And that ID was in the wallet.
that ID was in the wallet. So
Whoops.
yeah. So I ended up I wasn't gonna be able to get it. I wasn't gonna be able to get my ID in time to go pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I canceled the order. But since I paid for the order with just a straight up gift card anyways, I just
Mm-hmm.
reordered the game and just have it delivered. To just have it
Ah,
delivered so it'll
okay.
be here Monday. So it's fine.
Hmm.
It's fine. I'm
Okay.
bad at life. I'm bad at it. I am terrible at life. But
Yeah.
overall,
I was wondering last week when you showed those two new games, where if you'd already give an update there for Ryza, because I noticed back then on Twitter you messaged someone, I'm not sure which place, what, maybe it was Best Buy, that about having the game in stock.
yeah, I was confused because the
Mm-hmm.
game came out on a Friday. They didn't have it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
They finally got it. But you know what?
Ah.
I will take less than a week over three
Mm-hmm.
months. 3 months
Yeah.
is ridiculous. Less than a week,
Mm-hmm.
I am perfectly fine with that. I was on some first world shit. My apologies, Best Buy. I don't usually apologize to giant companies. My bad. I was on some first world nonsense.
I mean, if they state on their page it's supposed to come out at a certain date, one would expect them to have it.
Right. Like I don't like
So,
on one hand I admit that there's like a certain American first world quality to my behavior. I'm willing to admit that. On the other
I
hand,
mean, you haven't been behaving badly. One tweet like that is way off from the behavior of some actual bad customers.
yeah, that wasn't even like a rude tweet. That was
Yeah,
me
exactly. It
asking
was
a
just, yeah.
that was
Mm,
me asking a question of like, "Hey, I pre-ordered this and it's like 3
yeah.
days past its release." But cuz like okay, so my general concern was that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want them to cancel my like on the weird off chance the game
Mm-hmm.
that the time
Yeah, like
lapsed.
they notice they can't get enough of it, so they cancel your pre-order because of
Yeah,
that.
no. No, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
want my fucking product. I don't want my money. Don't give me back my money. Give
Understandable,
me my
especially since you already paid.
Yeah, I want my
Yeah.
product. I don't want the fucking money. It's not about
Mm-hmm.
the money. As silly as that sounds. I
Yeah,
want the fucking thing I paid for. Um,
actually.
I mentioned this to you on Discord about Final Fantasy
Mm-hmm.
Crisis Core and the ridiculousness that is the side
Mm-hmm.
questing in that fucking video game.
Yes.
Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. Cactar.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Holy crap. I can't even. I can't. I can't with this game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's not that the game doesn't tell you how to get it. The
Mm-hmm.
game tells you very specifically exactly which mission will unlock that summon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To get to that mission is probably the other story, though.
Yeah, it's getting the mission to get to that summon that is that turns out to be the tough part.
Mm. Is it a guarantee to get him when you beat that mission, or is that a random chance?
Oh no, you once you fulfill the criteria to unlock the mission
Mm.
chain that unlocks Cactar, once you defeat those three
Mm-hmm.
missions, you will get the summon.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So, it's getting
So
to
that's
that
that at
point.
least. Mm-hmm.
It's getting to that point that I found to be egregious and stupid
Mm.
because I looking back, I don't want to make excuses. I don't want to make
Mm-hmm.
excuses for them. I get where they were thinking. So every
Mm-hmm.
mission has a certain amount of chests that you can open, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
scattered throughout the mission map or
Mm-hmm.
throughout the mission area. So most people say collect all the chests, get all the items. Oh, bullshit. Okay, whatever, fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. In my mind, what I'm thinking that they were thinking that I would have done is that I would have played the mission, explored the map, trying to find all the chests, and then accidentally found the cactar, killed the
Mm-hmm.
cactar, went to the boss, beat the boss, and then unlocked the mission chain. I feel like that is, in theory, what the devs were expecting from the player. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
the only way this makes sense. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
make sense in any other context.
Uh-huh.
But again, if the player chooses to say fuck the chest because I have plenty of items, I just don't give a shit. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to get the mission done. Well, I guess you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Guess you just don't get the new thing. Cool. Fantastic.
So is just meeting a cactuar and defeating it enough, or do you have to still open all the chests?
No, you just have to in that one particular mission you have to detour
Uh-huh.
from fighting the boss, find the
Uh-huh.
cactar, he's in a certain location, beat it,
Uh-huh.
and then go back and then beat the boss, and then that will in
Mm-hmm.
turn unlock the other mission chain.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. Too bad a prerequisite. It's easily missable, I suppose. But that's definitely gonna be a yeah. Yes, you're they're gonna wait for people to look at after the chests and then find him. Hmm?
Yeah, that's the only way it makes sense. It'd have
Mm-hmm.
to be,
Yeah.
but then like there is no chest where this cactar
Mm-hmm.
is located.
Yeah, well, but are the chests marked on the
No,
map
no, they're
before
not.
you find
They're
them?
not. They're
There you
not
go.
marked.
So you wouldn't know.
Yeah, so you would just go down that
So you'd
pathway and
still go into that area anyway.
you'd go on that pathway, find the cactar, and be like, "What the fuck is this nonsense?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm a little more understanding
Mm-hmm.
after the fact. Now I give it some thought because
Yeah, I can. I can still see the logic there more than behind something like the beat 1,000 enemies,
beat a
because that's something like that's just stupid.
beat 1,000 enemies.
Yeah, that's one of the side missions.
Oh, is
The
it?
last of the chains. Yeah, the last of the chain in the chain of one of the side missions. You
Oh
have to beat
Jesus.
3 enemies, beat 10, beat 100, beat 1,000. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you could do it easily. It just would take a while. Cause you can't. There's not much you can automate in that game, so it's not like you can like
Mm-hmm.
automate your character to do the same thing over and over again. I mean, maybe. See, I don't know if dual cast stacks. If dual cast can stack with itself to then dual
Mm-hmm.
cast a spell after the initial dual cast, I can think of some nasty materia combination, some nasty materia you could use that would wipe out hundreds of enemies. But again,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it works that way.
Yeah.
I don't
Which
think
which
it.
one?
I don't
Which of
think it
these
works
two?
that way.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm pretty sure it was 1,000 enemies. I've seen it. I've seen someone. Yeah, here it is. It's the first mission chain, the Shinra training mission chain.
Oh.
where you have Shinra Advanced Training, 50 Shinra Troopers, 100, 200, 1,000.
I'm gonna have to look up how to unlock that. I'm gonna do that today.
Uh,
I'm gonna look up specifically how to unlock that because now I kind of want to
Yeah.
do it. I do. I really
mm-hmm,
kind of want to do it just because it exists. That's the only reason why. I
mm-hmm.
don't. I'm not
This one
even.
should be pretty much unlocked at the start, from what I
Maybe I
see
don't have
here.
it. Elsewise, I would have did it.
Uh,
I would have did it for the
which,
kicks. I'm gonna have to look up how to unlock
which
that.
mission? How far are you chapters wise?
7 or 8.
Okay, yeah, you get it in chapter 9.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
The advanced training is chapter 9, and then you go through the rest automatically after
I
that.
figured as much. A decent amount of the game is
Mm-hmm.
locked behind story progression, so that's
Yeah.
fine. All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the reward is worth it, but
You know,
I'm not quite sure what that materia does.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Uh-huh.
Reward structures don't always result in me doing or not doing something.
Yeah, sure.
You know.
Yeah. Should I mention which materia you get?
Yeah. I mean, I want to know now.
Mug.
Mug.
Yeah.
That's
Mug.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's it.
That's a reward for the last mission.
I already
The other
got
things
that.
is
I don't.
just accessories.
I'm.
The before that you get the HP up plus. Then before that the black belt. Before that hero drink ×2.
Yeah.
And
So
hero drink.
nothing.
So,
I
yeah.
want. Got it. Okay. I'm doing this purely because it exists and that I can. That's the only reason I'm doing this. I'm not doing this for any other reason. Cool. Thank you. How about you? What have you been?
I've had some interesting gaming this week.
I saw some screenshots in the Discord, but I didn't know what game that was from or what you were doing. I just saw them and I'm like, oh, those look cool, and then went about my day.
Yeah, that was a newly released game, and one of the first screenshots that was the title screen in it. It's a newly released game made by a German studio called Everspace 2.
Everspace, okay.
Which just came out.
Oh,
the first one was a space shooter roguelike, which they changed up. This time it's essentially a looter shooter. You have your sci-fi space scenario. You have, at the start, you have a specific spacecraft that you can upgrade and equip with all kinds of weapons and additional equipment. And depending on what missions you do, you can find different kind of loot and upgrade your stuff. And later on, you get several other spacecrafts, which I haven't unlocked those yet, but I'm guessing those are gonna be different stuff like quicker, less armored, more armored, a bit slower, but packs a punch and stuff like that. It's gonna be interesting to see which those are. Certainly an interesting game.
Yeah,
Had fun with it so far.
Nice.
I already found several different weapon types. Like some are more for close combat, some are better for kinetic damage, like more armor damage. The others are better for shield damage and stuff like that. Yeah. You can for one, you have your map where you can travel to different sectors in your area, which unlocks the further you progress in the story. Which is nicely. You obviously notice that the studio doesn't have the big budget of some AAA studio. This game has been kickstarted a few years back. But they do it in a sort of motion comic style.
Oh, okay.
Where you have it's nicely drawn pictures that are then switched up, moved a bit, and stuff like that. Which, yeah, it's nicely done. Quality is good. Game hasn't crashed for me. Hasn't had any bugs. The balancing might need some touching up in some spaces, but mostly I've been doing all right. It also, besides relying on the loot that you find, you can also upgrade the items themselves if you have the required resources. You can either level them up once so they get more powerful, or you can increase the item rarity, so you're not bound to find, let's say, uncommon loot, rare loot, legendary loot, and such. But up to, I think, rare, you can upgrade the items themselves, which is a nice way to do it.
I'd say so.
Yeah, and the controls felt nice so far. I've been mostly using the gamepad for it, which they've done quite well to implementing that. So yeah, that was fun. And the other thing that I've been playing has been the new season for Path of Exile. Which, yeah, they did one interesting thing with it. You know how it has the giant skill tree?
Yeah.
Now the weapons can have smaller skill trees.
Oh God.
Yep.
Oh.
You find the weapon. You can you have any weapon.
Oh God, it's the item world. It's like the item world from Disgaea. Fuck. Oh
not
God.
quite.
Oh God. Oh God, I gotta travel
quite,
through
thankfully.
this shit again. Fuck. No. Oh. Isn't me
Thankfully
getting
not
the
quite,
item enough
but-
for you? I gotta go through 99 floors of this shit just to be able to win? And God help if you're playing Disgaea 1, where a random floor just does not have an exit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
that I had that happen
yeah.
way too many times in like PS1 Disgaea 1, where you get to like floor 55 and you're like, man, I'm killing it today. And then there's fucking, the thing puts me on a platform like this, right? And that's it. There's like a couple enemies,
Yeah.
a couple geo cubes, and that is it. There is nothing else here. There is no way off this island. There is no
and then
exit.
you scroll over 5 kilometers into that direction, and there you see the exit.
It's like, oh, cool, thanks. I'm never.
Sorry,
getting
I don't have a character with a throw stat of 5,000.
Oh my God, a throw stat of literally 1,000,000.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if that would be possible in the upcoming Disgaea 7, but
Yeah, stat creep.
no,
man.
thankfully in Path of Exile it's a bit easier. It's essentially you find crucibles or in the map randomly. You can activate them, and then you trigger them as long as you want. It builds up the potential XP that you get for the weapon, and once you have reached the point where you want, then you leave that area and it spawns the enemies. And when you defeat them, the weapon gets the XP. And once the weapon has enough XP for level 1 skill, you get that unlocked, and so on. Can have up to, I think, 4 or 5 levels of unlocks. The most I've had so far is, I think, 3 levels in terms of a weapon, which the third one requires quite a bit of XP, so that's either a few very difficult fights at these crucibles or several easier ones. You can essentially do as you like. Just takes a bit longer if you choose the lesser difficulties. And those skill unlocks can be, they're mostly passive stuff, but it's more the lower ones are stuff like additional elemental damage, additional critical chance, stuff like that. But it can be also stuff like it unlocks a certain node of that big passive tree that you have, which can be a significant upgrade. And from what I've seen in the trailer later on, you can even merge the trees from two weapons. So you essentially can optimize what your weapon has in terms of skill unlocks, which I'm obviously not that far yet, but gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. And I'm still looking forward to the announcement in around June, July, when they hopefully announce the Path of Exile 2 beta.
Nice.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah, that was my week.
So I guess I'll start with something positive. According to reports from Omida, I think that's what it's called. I can't pronounce it. Currently doing the rounds that the Valve Steam Deck is set to hit 3 million sales during 2023. We knew it had hit at least 1 million in 2022. I'm gonna be real. 3 million on this fucking thing is hella. I mean,
that's a surprisingly high number, given that this device basically crept up on us.
it's a surprisingly high number, but it's also really surprising given the niche. Because
yeah, true.
It isn't. I mean, it is a niche product as much as we might like, as much as we all believe that Steam is ubiquitous across everyone's
Steam
life.
Is
as much look, I'm just
Steam is very very wide in terms of that, but yeah, obviously it's not the cheapest. It's decently sized and weighty handheld.
At 400, I don't think what else is it competing with at that price point in this type of niche? What is it really
in
competing?
This specific niche,
in this niche,
it has.
I mean, unless you really,
it has a very good price. That's true.
Unless
in this specific
unless
niche,
you
it's
really
very well priced.
Because like even if you put it up against current gen consoles, what it's only $50 price. It's only $50 more than a Switch OLED. So I mean, and it's still $100 less than the Xbox and the PlayStation. So
that's true.
Even like within its
own,
that's
true, but it's I'd say not for someone that is already a customer with Valve. You usually already have either a standalone PC or a laptop or something like that. So an additional 400 at the very least is still a decently sized purchase. And if you want to really make good use of it, then it's 500 to 600.
Okay, yeah. I mean, for Valve, I think 3 million just kind of.
It's definitely a really
Valve,
good number.
The 3 million has to certainly tell them they're getting something right.
Yeah, and this thing isn't even available in retail around here, and it has only been recently announced in Asia, and especially in Japan.
Is it? But it's not really sold retail anywhere, is it? I've never seen it.
No. The only retail presence was recently announced in Asia, and even that's pretty limited.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So that's specifically Hong Kong, Taiwan, and later on Japan and South Korea. There it's gonna be available in retail. But
yeah. It's because we were talking about this.
It's not even out in China, from what I know. So
we were talking about another handheld PC in our chat at some point. I think it was
the ROG Ally from Asus, which is decently more powerful, but also close to about twice the price.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. But see that
But yeah, it's.
the crazy thing
Mm-hmm.
is like, okay, maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way, right? But
Mm-hmm.
like justifying a $500 console, as silly
Mm-hmm.
as it is, within the last like 4 or 5 years, you haven't been able to build a moderately, you haven't been able to build a good PC at $500 for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't really, like, let's be real, that hasn't been a
Yeah.
thing in quite some time, unless you're doing like really hardcore secondhand shopping and
Mm-hmm.
really thrifty.
Yeah.
Fine. You really can't do that anymore. So like a console at 500, okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like once you're teetering up at that 800, 900, $1,000 range,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it becomes extremely niche
like
because there has been only pretty much mainly one brand that has been making these kind of mobile PCs before, and that's GDP from I think they're from Hong Kong, and
yeah.
they are significantly more costly.
Oh, are they really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
They even back then they were significantly more costly, and nowadays let's check um the let's see, what was it, GDP 3, I think, because I think GDP's current or most current one is, let's see, does it have a price here? Because it's at least a few hundred more than the Steam Deck. They usually do Indiegogo stuff to get it out cheaper to the interested people, and then they sell it for an upped price. And then there's the even more costly Aya Neo products that have been more recently making the rounds, which I think those were pretty much boosted by the availability of the Steam Deck. They have they have different variations. They have cheaper ones, which are obviously also significantly lower powered. Their least powered one is a Core i3, which starts at around 270 in terms of Indiegogo early bird prices, but they do go up to let's see here. Yeah, and the early bird is also only just about 100 units, and then after that it goes up to 599.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And those gonna retail at least 650, and then there's the 16 gigabyte model for 750 on retail, and then their more powerful versions start out at 780
Jesus.
and get more costly from there. They retail at around 1,000.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a weird headspace, but I feel like if I had a grand to blow,
Mm-hmm.
I would just upgrade my PC.
Yeah, if you want to use it, if you mainly want to game on your system at home, yeah. But if you really want something very nice for on the go, then I can see some people wanting that.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely a hell of a lot more compact than the laptop, for example, and more comfortable to hold. And it has the controls, so it's definitely a good alternative. But it's definitely
an
a significantly
incredible.
smaller niche than the Steam Deck, even. Yeah.
But I will give Valve credit for one
Mm-hmm.
thing, and I say this,
Mm-hmm.
this isn't a joke. They said
Mm-hmm.
1 to 2 weeks to get my fucking Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker, my Steam Deck was at my house waiting for
Mm-hmm.
me in 6 days. They
Nice.
got that bitch to me in less than a fucking week. I don't know what kind
Mm-hmm.
of magic they employed to make that shit happen. That shit was already here waiting for me after work. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, very nice.
Never mind the way I had to bend over backwards to fucking order the damn thing. Cause my bank
Mm-hmm.
had decided to block Valve.
Ah,
And not
okay. So they thought, okay, this is a suspiciously high amount to order something from Valve.
Oh no. It wasn't like this is a suspiciously high
Mm-hmm.
amount. They
Mm-hmm.
actually my bank stopped the transaction. Visa
Mm-hmm.
flagged Valve as fraud. Like as a
What?
fraudulent website. Yes. Visa flagged Valve as a fraudulent company that because they flagged them because I called my bank and I'm like, hey, can you
Mhm.
unblock my card, please? And like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, cool, cause I want to make that purchase. And they're like, oh, well, we can unblock your card from normal purchases, but you'll have to talk, but we'll have to send something over to Visa. They currently have that Valve company listed as a fraudulent website. Bruh!
Yeah, sure. They've only been around for a few days, right?
Bruh!
Good morning, Visa. Oh, yeah.
I had to work extra hard to make this fucking purchase, man. They did not make it easy. Valve, a fraudulent website. That was
Sure.
their explanation. Visa was like, "Oh, well, we have it marked as a fraudulent
Mm.
like phishing website or something." Basically, they believed that the website was just ripping me off. They thought this was
Mm-hmm.
a case of me being about to lose like $500 to this website.
Sure.
I'm like, "No, that's not what's happening. I appreciate your concern, but that's not I'm going to make this purchase and I'm going to have my item. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need you to step out the way, please. Thank you. So yeah,
Mm.
I want to also mention that
Mm-hmm.
there was some interesting hubbubaloo, at least in circles I'm a part of, about the
Mm-hmm.
fact that the Steam Deck has been a thing for so long, and Valve only recently marked it down by like 10% for like a short amount of
Oh,
time. And people were like, "Well, that's ridiculous. Most console companies would have already had a sale on their
really?
device."
A year after it's generally available. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, I'm like, no. I'm like, not really. And
No.
on top of that, 10%'s not nothing. They could have just easily not marked it down. I've never seen has the Valve index ever been marked down? Because I don't think I've ever seen that shit go down. That shit
That's
go
a good
down.
question. That I don't know. Yeah, but even 10%, I mean, for the cheapest model, it's still $40.
Yeah, you're still a decent amount of money that you're not paying. So I don't
Or
see
60 for the high end model.
not to sound like a first world asshole here.
Mm-hmm.
I was just more surprised by how people were just like, oh, Valve is a multi-billion-dollar company, and they can only afford
Mm-hmm.
to mark their console down by 10% after it's been out in the market for so long. I'm like, you really had to go there about this, didn't you? You really had to make
They
it that way. Okay, cool. You have
maybe
no
they should maybe they should think about how this thing is already marked down pretty significantly in comparison to what one would expect from a device like this in
yeah,
terms of price.
considering
They're
that
not making a big margin on this.
I'd be surprised. Do you think they make it? Do you think they make better on the higher ones? The
Yep,
higher
probably yeah, but it's not going to be much even there
Yeah, cuz yeah,
because it's not that it's not a that really that giant price Rise, and they still have to stick with the small SSDs, as in small form factor, and those aren't as cheap as the others.
Ah, that's true. Yeah. So
Because
I just wanted to
they're
bring.
really the shortest SSDs you can get, the 2230
Oh yeah,
ones.
yeah.
And they're
I
really not
I
that much bigger than a regular SD card.
I just wanted to bring that up because I just thought that was an
Mhm,
interesting
sure.
take for people to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, really? That's your take right now?
Hmm.
It's like, oh, 10%, that's all they can do after this thing has been out all this time? Like, they couldn't have even done like a holiday sale. Like, how much more the fuck do you want off of this
Hmm.
damn thing? It's 400 for the lowest end model. How much more are you expecting here? Jesus. What, you want
Yeah.
50% off, you fucking plebeians? Give me a fucking break. Gotta
Uh,
I gotta make something as a resident capitalist of this fucking podcast.
this isn't software. You actually have to pay for the hardware before you can sell it. So, it's a bit of a
so
different animal than Steam games.
and wait a minute, what news?
Hmm.
Arc 2 is delayed, and Arc
Yep.
1 is being killed unless you buy a remaster.
Hmm.
Um, they are remastering the original Arc in Unreal Engine 5 and calling it Arc Survival Ascended. When the game launches, they are switching off the original Arc Survival Evolved servers. But this is not just porting players over as they wait for the sequel. The only way to play Arc Ascended, and therefore any existing versions of Arc, is to buy a $50 bundle that packages the remastered with the now delayed sequel. On top of that, it appears you may also have to rebuy expansions for the original Arc as they are remastered for UE5 version. Each DLC pack is $20, and again, there does not seem to be any credit given to players who have bought the versions for the last gen. Oh.
Hmm.
We doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no discount if you've already bought it? You don't get like a
Nope.
markdown. Okay. You have to if you want to play. So wait, hold up. Okay. Let me
Hmm.
understand. So this if I want to play the original Arc, I have to then buy this remaster, right?
Yep.
Okay. But
Because when the remaster releases, the game server is gonna be gone.
cool.
Yeah. It's great.
Cool. $50 $50. Damn, okay.
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, yes, it does include the sequel, but that's still an extremely shitty thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. All right. So I'm going to put aside my capitalist ideals for a second and assume that their logic is, well, you're not really paying for the remaster. You're paying to get your hands on the sequel when it comes out. The remaster is just an extra packaged in the fucking thing that you're paying for. I don't know if I believe that, but I could see that being the angle. I would probably try it.
Yeah, because that's also great that the sequel has been delayed to the end of 2024.
Oh, so what the fuck am I paying? Oh, so I'm not paying for the sequel then, am I?
Mm-hmm. Well, you're paying for this to get the sequel at the end of 2024. So once the remaster releases, which is probably gonna be, do they say here? Let's see. Did the source say that? Where is it? Because that one should release relatively soon. Yeah, here it is. It will launch by the end of August this year. So essentially, if you wouldn't buy this, you'd have to wait more than a year to be able to play Ark at all. And your access to the first Ark, no matter when you bought it, is just gonna be gone at the end of August.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But then again, I am not too surprised that this comes from a company that before already sold DLC for an unfinished game and released the game on console before it was even out on PC. As in, it was still in early access on PC, and then they still decided, yeah, we're gonna release a console version for this. So yeah, they are just another in a string of bad decisions here.
Yeah, but like it doesn't even because like okay, My problem is my problem is that I'm trying to think about what you're actually paying for, right? Because you're either paying $50 to play a remastered version of a game that you already have that you're about to lose. So okay, you're either forcing me to pay you a ransom so I can play the game I've already paid for, or you're charging me $50 to get the new game when it comes out some point nebulously in 2024, but I also get the added benefit of being able to play the game that you're about to shut down. Am I?
Yeah, it's pretty much both. And as the article says, that's the base game. The DLC of the original game you'd have to pay additionally again. Yeah.
You know.
Great, isn't it?
You know.
I'm sure the fans of this game are taking this really well.
Incredibly well?
I'm sure.
Fucking swimmingly, right? Sure there's no I'm sure there's no toxic discourse on this subject.
Absolutely not. This was one of the most upvoted posts on Reddit.
Oh no.
I receive your $90. You receive the same game with better graphics, a performance and graphic update that we announced as a free update for everyone, official servers shut down, no transferring between versions.
You know,
it's a great trade offer. I don't see how anyone can refuse that.
Like,
sorry, am I being too sarcastic?
It's like I'm either paying you a ransom to be able to play the game I already have paid for, or I am paying to potentially play the new game where you also throw in a remaster of the original game as a pre-order bonus. Because that's what it is. You're pre-ordering the game. Like you're not you're paying to pre-order the game. You're not buying the new game, you're pre-ordering it. That's what you're doing.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, I don't I don't think there's a capitalist way for me to say this sucks. This sucks. This is
I know what the people should say to them. It's just 2 words. Fuck you.
Yeah. Like why? Don't hold the game I've already paid for hostage.
Yeah.
Like and like I like yeah, maybe in an imaginary universe this remastered UE5 version really is worth $50. All right? Let's I know. I know. Trust me. It's a stretch, even for my capitalist brain. But
yeah, okay, Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a real bend over backwards 3 times situation. Fold yourself in half 4 times.
Even Mr. Fantastic would say "ow" to that one.
It's like maybe they're charging you, and you're actually gonna get a good product. You're not, by the way. You're not getting a product worth the money that you're paying for. Don't kid yourself into thinking that you are. All right, so like, there's no recourse. Are there like fan servers? Is that a thing for Ark, or is this all
I
just
don't think there is.
cool? Okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
At least the
no,
article
that's
makes no mention of that. Let's see here. Because they do mention private Arc servers on, but my guess would be that those also have to go through the official network or something like that,
okay,
which would be my guess. So
cool.
I'm not sure if that would. Let's see here. Because that might be the only way. Depending on how that's done, that might be the only way to continue playing the game. But I have my doubts on that because that would essentially make it uninteresting to get the remaster. So they really have no reason to do anything there for them.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's cool. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And companies be doing stupid shit news for no real fucking reason outside of
Mm-hmm.
for the lulls, and even then I don't really know where the lulls come in for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Monster Energy goes after Capcom and Pokemon Company over the use of the word monster. Okay, monster, my guy. Listen, I need you to sit down for a second and fucking. I need you to really come in close, monster. Come on, come in close. Really, really come in close on this. You're fucking stupid. You need help. Get help.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a legal
When
battle,
I
I
first
ended.
when I first looked at this news, I was wondering if they maybe published this a week too late.
An illegal battle ended as quickly as it began. Monster Energy went after Pokemon Company and Capcom over the use of the word monster in the trademarks. As you expect, these trademark complaints were shot down instantly. They tried to file these disputes were filed in Japan, where they were squashed soon after. Monster Energy seems to be on a trademark tirade at the moment, as they filed 100 complaints in Japan for all sorts of companies and brands that use the word monster in some way. Apparently, Monster Energy has been doing this for quite some time and have become well known to be a bit of a troll on this topic. Even after losing their battles against Capcom and Pokemon Company, Monster continues to file more complaints against other companies. Monster Energy argues that the use of the word monster and other names of product can confuse customers. All right, hold on. Are you
Honestly, at this point,
just
I am
calling me
wondering.
dumb? Like, you're just calling me dumb. Like, that's all that. Like, honestly, I don't like. I
I
didn't
think
finish college, so I don't really
I,
feel competent enough to have that opinion. But you're just calling me dumb at that point. Like,
I
that's just
think dumb would be too charitable a way to describe this. They're calling people clinically brain dead. And honestly, I have to wonder at this point, has the guy who had the Edge trademark been hired by Monster?
it's possible.
Because this would be about his level of conduct.
I'm just saying. I don't like. My thing is, I just don't like. I'm honestly like I saw this story pop up and I'm like, this is really dumb. There's no way this could work. Monster hasn't been around that long to be able to dispute a trademark complaint with fucking Nintendo over Pokemon. You haven't been around since the fucking 90s. I know that much for sure. Like,
One would think they are around long enough to know better, but yeah, apparently
yeah,
not.
I would love to hear. I would love to see the paperwork where they explain their logic for going after Monster Hunter and Pokemon. I
Mhm.
would I would like I'm not qualified to read it, but I would still
Mhm.
like to see it. I would love to see it.
I think logic has no effect on them.
I mean, I guess it's not really going to court. The only thing really being wasted here is some poor asshole's time who has to write up these fucking complaints and submit them.
Yeah, and the judges and the people that have to look at these complaints and dismiss them.
I'm gonna be real with you, CD. I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
after like the fourth or fifth complaint in Japan that they filed, the judges just see that it's by Monster Incorporated and they're just like, yeah, unlikely. Throw that shit in the trash. I'm not even dealing with this. I got shit to do this
Yeah,
week.
they're looking at the stack of 100 complaints made by them, and they're saying, "Okay, bring out the sake.
Like,
We have to fill these out, so let's make it enjoyable.
yeah, might as well
Bottoms
get
up."
fucked up while I'm having to waste my
Yeah,
fucking time. Cause that's
yeah.
really all this is. That's really all. Like, I don't even think Monster's trying to inconvenience Nintendo. I think Monster just has a thing against legal entities, and they just want to waste fucking legal people's time. This is not
Hmm.
a case of them patent trolling fucking Nintendo. This is a case of them
Yeah.
saying, fuck you to the legal system. We are going to file so many complaints that you are either going to
Hmm.
have to read them all or you're going to break the law by not reading them.
Yeah, and I, I mean, it's curious that they're doing this in Japan. I mean, one would expect them to start this out in the US, where even if they don't wouldn't stand a chance there either, they probably still didn't get dismissed instantly.
Yeah, you would think, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would assume. That would make the
Hmm.
most sense so you're not wasting,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
sense apparently doesn't figure into this. So,
I don't think sense ever figured because there's
hmm.
no way you're doing this with like good like I was gonna say good faith,
Nah.
but that's not even.
I
But
mean, even
again,
bad
you're
faith would
you're
not
paying
figure this like
somebody
this.
for this. You're
Yeah.
paying a legal person, a guy who probably went to college, probably went to law school, got a
Hmm.
job, and was like, I am stable in my life. Oh no, they have me doing nothing but filing. Because look, there's one of two options.
I
Either this
mean,
poor, either this
con-
poor,
con-
either this poor bastard really
hmm.
believes that this is true and that these are
Hmm.
actually confusing consumers, or, and I should just say, I'm not accusing
Hmm.
anybody of committing fraud. Not saying that. Nope,
Hmm.
not. I am legally supposed to say I'm not saying that. Or you're just taking the piss.
I mean, for the guy that has to file these, this is seems like a pretty easy job. So he's probably not too bothered
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for him, it's
because
probably
he essentially has to file the same thing just with a uh, different company in the complaint uh, area of the form or something. Because besides that, they probably copy paste the whole complaint. Besides just the company who they're complaining against,
right.
so they probably have something like, okay, here's a list of companies we know that use the word monster somewhere, and then we're just gonna push this through. The printer will do its thing, and we have an easy weekend.
We have a very easy weekend, a very
Hmm.
easy time writing this off. Holy shit, that is impressive. Congratulations, monster. I already don't drink your fucking death syrup. But,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
do drink energy drinks, but Monster is certainly never gonna be on the list of that.
that's honestly, it's a, it's impressive by just how Machiavellianly stupid it is. It's like it's like an Adam West Batman villain creating this maniacal scheme that literally equates to nothing.
Yeah, this is the Riddler after drinking too much Monster. He just completely brain fucked.
Yeah. It's like
Riddle me this. Why am I filing 100 complaints against companies that have no chance of success?
this is
Batman stumped. He can't find any
yeah.
logic behind it.
Yeah, this is some Adam West Batman level complexity. Some like
We're
eighth
gonna need the Bat Monster repellent.
there was this before I wrap up, there was this amazing video where this guy was asked which version of Batman has a chance against Superman, right? And the first one he picks is Adam West. The Adam West
because
Batman.
he probably has a Bat Superman repellent spray.
he's like, you know, he may not be the most physically capable, but he probably is prepared. The guy has a shark repellent. If he has that, he probably has everything that he needs.
He has probably a Bat kryptonite spray or something.
It's like Michael Keaton and the other one. He's like, no, they're just dudes. They are pure mortals. There's no chance Superman folds these dudes like it's no fucking problem. It's over. There is no chance. I love Batman Returns and Batman Forever for what they are. But those Batmen have no chance. They instantly get folded. Like day one, Superman punches one of them in the chest and they are instantly vaporized. George Clooney's Batman.
He takes out his Bat credit card and pays for kryptonite.
I'm gonna be really honest. I think Clooney's Batman might be able to do it. Not because I think he's somehow more capable, but because Joe Schumacher probably did write something in that script that would enable him to fight Superman. So I'm gonna assume there's some weird, wacky bullshit that he can do to allow him to do it. I don't think he can inherently do it, but I'm sure Joel Schumacher probably created some wacky.
There would be a way.
Yeah, they're fucking the fucking.
Honestly, that would be an interesting sight. Joel Schumacher's BVS.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it now. I shouldn't want it, but I do.
First, make Joel Schumacher's Man of Steel, and then make Joel Schumacher's Batman versus Robin. Not Robin. Although that would be interesting as well. But no, make Batman versus Superman. Batman versus Robin.
Yeah. Let me fill you in.
Although no, that's Dark Hood. That's Red Hood. So yeah.
Yeah, Batman versus Robin. If you want to get down to like brass tacks, really depends on which Robin Batman's fighting. If it's Grayson, like Nightwing.
Well, as Nightwing, that could be an interesting fight.
Nightwing, I think Nightwing could get close. I don't know if he'd be able to go the distance to really put Batman down, but I feel like he could probably go the distance. Jason Todd, I mean, that's Red Hood, so homie has a gun, so I mean, like, he's got a 9mm. I don't know what you was expecting from this man. Like, he done died once, came back and wanted revenge. So and then you have like, what was it, Damien? I feel like an older Damien, not like a kid Damien, like an older Damien probably could beat Bruce. I feel like Damien has the kind of unhinged but well controlled kind of fury in him that, like, if it came to blows between him and Batman, he could probably kill him. I realized comic writers would never let that happen because God forbid Batman loses. I feel like Damian is one of them who would like probably win. I feel like Grace. I don't think Grayson can go the distance. I feel like Damian would fight dirty and fucking catch him with a shuriken or something.
Tim Drake, probably not so much.
Yeah, not Tim Drake. No, I love him to death, but not Tim Drake is not going the distance. I'm sorry, it's not happening. I wish, but it's not. It's not happening. The Pantheon, Barbara Gordon. Okay, if I feel like Barbara is really smart. So if she had to fight Batman, it wouldn't be.
She was Oracle, so
if she had to fight Batman, it wouldn't be a fair fight because that shit would be rigged in her favor. There would be bombs, explosives, fucking chemical gas traps, everything imaginable to try to fuck Batman's world up. But then knowing Batman,
and honestly, with those two, that would be psychological warfare.
I think she's hiding in this locker. But if I were her, I'd put a trap in this locker. But I'm not her, I'm me. Therefore, I'd be hiding in the locker. But she'd expect me to think that. So most likely, it's a trap in this locker. So there.
Batman EXE has stopped. Needs to be restarted.
The program repeats itself about 7 times and then crashes. That's usually how this goes. It meets the code meets an infinite loop. And if you've ever coded something that accidentally hits an infinite loop, that doesn't usually end well for the coding process itself.
That's time to open Task Manager and shut it down.
It's like, oh no, it's looped itself over 7 times. Shit. Yeah, I feel like Barbara probably. But then you get to the Justice League, and this is my favorite part, right? It's okay, putting aside Justice League Doom, where someone takes his contingency plans to beat the Justice League and alters them to be deadly, and he ends up almost killing the Justice League, and his plans almost end up killing the Justice League to begin with. Okay, Wonder Woman. It depends on which version of Wonder Woman we're going with. If we're going with a Wonder Woman straight out of Themyscira who's on her Warrior Xenia bullshit, no, Batman's dead. Batman is just dead because that bitch doesn't care. She's off of you immediately. If we're going with a Wonder Woman who's been integrated with society, maybe she'll show mercy. But we're talking straight out of Themyscira. Fuck that shit, dude. Batman's gone. Green Lantern? Depends on which Green Lantern. We talking Hal Jordan? Probably not. We're talking the black guy from, I forgot the guy's name, from the Justice League cartoon. I feel like he could do it. I think he could do it. Because he wasn't on that cocky bullshit that Hal Jordan was on. Because Hal Jordan was always sniffing his own farts.
Yeah, I think it was you that linked that gif once or twice.
Hal Jordan has always sniffed his own farts. So if it's Hal Jordan, he loses. If it's the other guy, he wins. Martian Manhunter. Oh, Martian Manhunter
Guy
wins.
Gardner?
Yeah, no, not Guy Gardner. Please, not Guy Gardner. Fuck. Don't do that. The Green Lantern Corps is already at risk. Don't send him. Fuck. We're talking Martian Manhunter. Batman loses. The guy can become impermeable at will. He can shapeshift and become anything and anyone that he wants to be at any given moment. He can fly. He has superhuman strength. And he has an incredibly high intellect. I'm pretty sure he could probably outsmart Batman to some degree. or at the very least, lead Batman on long enough to where Batman has to figure it out, right? I think
Yeah, and I think the one that you meant was Jon Stewart.
Yeah, Jon Stewart wins. If it's Hal Jordan, he loses. If it's Jon Stewart doesn't give a fuck. So Jon Stewart's gonna fucking crush him instantly. Hot Girl depends. Is Jon Stewart in danger because of Batman?
Then absolutely, he stands no chance.
If Jon Stewart is in danger because of Batman, Batman loses. That's it. There is no way out.
He's vaporized.
Cyborg? I mean, he's really just machinery, and Batman has enough.
I think Batman has more than enough against that.
Yeah, Batman has plenty of EMP bombs, shock bombs, tasers, fucking electric gloves. Like Cyborg ain't beating him. I'm sorry. Maybe if he like long ranges a nuke from across the country, but if he's doing that, then crashes the fucking watchtower on him or some shit. But other than that, I don't think you're beating him, buddy. Gonna keep it honest. I don't think you're winning that fight. If you have any suggestions, ladies and gentlemen, about about possible matchups for Batman where Batman loses in a reasonable fashion, feel free to send them and let me know, and I will evaluate their validity. But I'm standing by my Hal Jordan one. If it's Hal Jordan, he loses. Jon Stewart, he wins. I don't see Hal Jordan. Maybe if like Hal Jordan fucks up and accidentally becomes a Red Lantern, he might have a chance. If he fucks up and becomes a Red Lantern, I don't see Batman winning because like Red Lanterns don't give a fuck. Like that's they're just rage machines.
Yeah,
like.
I mean, Guy Gardner could do it. I mean, wasn't Guy Gardner the one that took the yellow ring and made it his own?
Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, that's essentially the one weakness of the Green Lanterns done with. So,
yeah.
What you do now?
Yeah, if you could just overwrite a ring's coding and make it your own, no matter how much I joke about you, you're probably a real threat. Like an actual. You know, I just realized he's not part of the Avengers, but I know he's not part of the Justice League, but I know someone else who loses who beats Batman. Beast Boy. Really? You question he could turn
depends on his incarnation, I guess. But yeah, depending on which Beast Boy.
Depending on which Beast Boy? I think Beast Boy in general, because like I feel like Beast Boy has enough creativity in animals and choices.
Maybe, but depending on his incarnation, he doesn't have the experience.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough.
If he has enough years under his belt, then yeah. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, bet you didn't expect this sidetrack.
Yeah, I know. And I'm still going to end the show on time, thank you very much. I can get sidetracked and still keep the show on task, so it's all good.
That's as always when it's a more quiet week.
As always, everybody, you can find our show on a variety of platforms, Apple, Google, and Spotify. And our video show that we post every single Sunday, along with our audio show, on our YouTube channel, Turn-Based Cynics. It's been a fantastic week. Lots of fun. Monsters doing stupid shit. I finally beat Chrono Trigger for the first time in my fucking life.
Nice. Took you long enough.
No, I get the luxury of having the cartridge. I beat it on original cartridge. My save file is on a cartridge, motherfuckers. I have proof. Like, not just video evidence, motherfuckers. I have the cartridge with the save on it. I have real proof. Thank you. I did it. I beat it. It's over. I never have to touch. I say that like I hate Chrono Trigger. I really don't. It was a lot of fun. Like, don't take it like I hate the game. I really don't hate the game. But yeah, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. I was like CD said, there wasn't a lot going on this week. I'll be honest. My news feeds haven't been popping off like they usually are. Usually somebody somewhere is doing something incredibly fucking stupid, but this week has been relatively quiet. So that's good. That's great.
Let's see if
I
that
like
was
it.
a quiet before the storm.
Ugh. Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. Well, everybody, I hope you've all enjoyed the show, and we will see you all next time.
See ya.